So Anuradha Majumdar is a very good friend. This festival is about intimacy. It's about people who want to be part of a gathering such as this, to hold hands. Let's reimagine and relearn hugging. It's a good thing. We can avoid a lot of shrink bills if you can do basic things right. So Anuradha is a hardcore Aurovillian, fiction writer, non-fiction writer, poet, married to this wonderful artist PLAF, who makes magic on filigree sheer fabric. She was born in Allahabad and did a Bachelors in English Literature and halfway through the Masters in Kolkata in 1979, when an international experimental camp called Auroville changed her life. Reading aloud and writing as much as possible took a break, as Auroville brought a different range of experiences and perception in which she immersed herself. This included construction work, working as food distribution, editing in Arts and Ideas magazine, working as a dancer choreographer, that's another side of her life, for nearly 18 years, and learning through all this to pay attention to words and the word. Let's see. As a choreographer, she's worked with poetry, including her own, and works like images from Present and Crossroads. Nine books followed thereafter. These include Mobile Hour, Later Night Matters, Poetry, Parallel Journeys, Refugees from Paradise, and Bob and Hansa. There are a couple of them here. She recently co-edited a lovely anthology called Hibiscus. She's written widely for Hindu, Wire, Vogue Review, so on and so forth, and read at many festivals. And essentially, she's a good, warm, lovely human being. Remember?
So, after Sudeep's just presence, right? Carry on from there. Actually, when I came to Auroville, I told myself I was going to write a word until I had lived through something of this experiment. And that's how it happened for a long time. And then I got into dance, choreography, and that is what brought poetry back. Because I started to script my choreographies with my poetry. So let me start. This was done for Auroville's 25th year, and we had a UNESCO conference, which was called Humanity at the Crossroads, the Evolution of Consciousness. So basically they came to me and said, look, would you create something for that? So this work came out of this basic theme. And right, so this was, which was done by Pierre, by the way. And the back was the poem. So I will read you bits from it because it was in 5 parts. It was about 70 minutes long. And also the part of the poem became the music. So it was recorded in about 3 voices with different pitches in different kind of layers. And it was read in different cadence, different rhythms. So when I'm reading it, I'll just go back sometimes to that. So Crossroads. Read the signs. Sorry. Read the signs. Lifelines drifting away into a spiraling memory of change. We cannot wait. We cannot wait. But we hesitate at the crossroads. Unknowing which way the soul has gone. The lights blink. We think red, orange, green, red, orange, green, red, orange, green. Did you see it? Did you see it? Grip, neck, feet. For God's sake, is there anyone awake? Open your eyes. This is the earth. We are in the center, each one. There are no sides, and on every side, the perimeter of life is equal. Turn your head a little, side are you on? Left or right? Right or wrong? Or at the center? In the center, where the traffic honks, and the street is torn with numbers. Among the many, I am one. All else will be alone, until this is known. Crossroads without the door. War, famine, greed, revolt, enemy, apartheid, mafia, recession, paranoia, guns, bombs, floods, earthquakes, hoodlums, corruption, pollution, no solution, no solution. The world in exile, refugees from paradise. Which way did my soul go ahead? One plus one is the one who is infinite. Who? Doesn't matter. But if you are, then infinity is thine, beloved, and earth. Have you heard the news of the world? No one knows. Day after day, the unknown unfolds. We must start to look. At the crossroad, the game is old. Rat race, self-defense, crash landing, yes. Brace yourself. That stuff isn't real. And nothing will be real until you are. Grey alleys, jump lanes, street by street. On the main highway, the white fire rises. Grey alleys, jump lanes, street by street. On the main highway, the white fire rises. Remember, you're on the street, still walking on mud or concrete. Center spins on every side. Can you feel which ground is yours and which is not? Each will take you for its own. Each will take you for its own. For you are the earth. Remember. Everywhere now the banners cry freedom. But where are your free men, O people of earth? Show me one man, woman, or child. Let him ride. Let the dust of the future call the past. It's wonderful. Remember also a new memory of life. Listen to the light coming in through the fire. Listen to the light coming in through the fire. Is that with that? So, Mobile Hour was actually a book of poems which happened like I started writing when I started dancing, actually, choreography. And I remember we were in a bus coming back from Kolkata. We had taken children to camp. When we were coming back, we heard about the fall of the Berlin Wall. And somehow it came through that. Can we do one or two? So this one was called Images, and it became actually a work, a choreographic work also, this one. And it was called, At the front line, the witness stands, confronting his soul. The images speak of dream and distraction, and the long destiny of the world. We fluctuate, but this hour will not leave us. Let the wild current break open the storm wind, and the pulse of the earth flow out in freedom. So this sort of came out after 1989, was it 1989? Right. Berlin Wall. So it's called The Aftermath. It's called long after the fall of the frozen empire, long after the debris had been cleared. Those with the useless medals sat overburdened in their seats, sucking their brains, wondering, how could it have gone wrong? How could the foreseen have been so forsaken by reality, and then the unforeseen swallowed up the past as though it had never been. Long after, the waves kept thumping on the beach. Though the flood was over, no one could say it was a return to calm. Destinies, left to fend on their own, fought like nuts. The ice does not thaw easily. The heart is still so cold, so ripe, a little fire. In the open arena walks the soul contender, who reveals the masks and hears them laugh patiently, then watches the veil rip helplessly across their eyes and float away to where no one can see yet. Long after it was morning, they heard him in the fields, whistling to a white sun, gold among the ripening wheat. Has the time come? What if you are not ready yet? What if you refuse? Long after, day was breaking till the sea. The fishermen gathered in their nets, but there was no fish, not one. Who would believe that life was chosen? As sand slipped under, the water pounds in the heart to be free. Okay, so what I can do now is actually believe that after the two collective anthologies, I never bothered to put any more poems together. And there's just plenty of poems just sitting around which have to be collected and put together in an anthology. So the first one I'm going to read from here is called A Cafe by the Sea. And actually it is the cafe along the sea. Along the sea, which you all know, in Poppy, opposite the Red, right? And I was sitting there one day and there was a group of people. There was a group of people next to me, and there was this lady taking pictures, and there was a boy standing across, and not looking very happy at being, sort of photographed like that. So, a cafe by the sea. I stand by the sea, eyes plunging into your camera. You ask my name and think you know who I am. I hesitate on this sandy beach because there's a dog curled up by my feet, sleeping, despite the waves crashing along the rocks. From your cafe, you judge my clothes, you look in my eyes, and decide you know what I am thinking. The candy floss man cycles up with small flying bags of pin fluff, and today he comes in a clean washed shirt and waves to the boy selling peanuts. The dog jumps and rushes to him in stale dancing. You click just then, your earrings dangling, and your friend claps her hand with a small shrill laugh and crunches away at her donut. You must show this to your friends back home, so they see what you see. The gulls on the stalls, the blue afternoon breeze, and make plans to come back here, to look at the same things. But they won't find me, nor the candy floss man. We will have disappeared into the burnt edge of day that you have never known. And your picture will disappear from the frame. Sorry about that. Okay. I think this is too much happening the last day and it's been a bit exhausting. Okay. This is a very old poem, which came when I used to be working in the Mazumdar construction. I used to be up in the scaffolding, hanging out in the air, and it was an amazing experience. So I call this Present, and it's one of my more formal poems. Impulse in the heart of a secret wind. Impulse in the heart of a secret wind, inside the cave of a heaven-wide sun, blue glory where the eagle sweeps high, singing your kingdoms inside our lives. Deep the waves of that measureless song, like mountains tender with a force that turns across this dream-red earth of light, and your single green laugh that decides the world. Here we listen to your crystalline eyes, sing the destiny that greatens our birth, as breath beneath the skin changes till we are free, and a new memory of life anchors our way. It's a very Mazumdar. Now, this one is also a Pondicherry poem. I was stuck in a traffic jam along the canal. After you cross the hospital over there, Pondi Hospital. So there was, one day there was this big traffic jam, a lot of honking and everything. And when you look into the canal, there was one tree, old tree, and on that tree was a kingfisher. So it's about that. No one knows why this road never stops. At noon, when the sun burns your feet, there is a water lily somewhere dozing with the frogs. When the road changes, it happens without warning, like a kingfisher striking through water, shaking up the frogs. But as the world roars through you, full klaxon, the kingfisher sits still. This one was an online anthology of poetry in which you had to write a poem sort of in reference to another poet. And it had people like John Ashbery and other in that one. And I chose Vyasa because of the scale and the scope of what he would see as a poet. So this was called Change of Guard. The kingdom falls off the summit of heaven. The flute player warms the wind. Great behemoths shudder, teetering off cliffs where the white sun plays with a summer solstice eve. Another man killed, another pinnacle falls. Dust to dust, this once the first of sovereigns. But the flute player plays a straight melody. Every kingdom, born or dying, must recognize. Even the wide-lipped lies, white-tipped at the edges, none can fail in the heartbeat of time. Its long, reciprocal silence. The harlequins play to the gallery again. But the wheel spins to a circle and stops as the eye of empire changes with it. This one was chosen by Sudeep for an anthology kind of collection he was putting together, and it was called A Handful of Grain. Day trades for a handful of grains, for a bouquet of flowers gathered by a child, watching flagrant cities that stalk our disquiet. For even great men fail to explain why the horizon has no frontier, why a tiny grain of light cracks through every masked layer. Day trades, grain by grain, each second resists or breaks, but we are fire and water, earth and dreams. Light enters like rain when we least suspect it. Okay, I shouldn't bother you too much. So I have been working on, okay, I can read you 2 or 3 from that. Recently I've been working on a series which is called Beyond the Night. And I'll just read you 2 or 3 from there. So this one is called Fragrance Beyond the Night. Freedom hovers at the brink of beauty, at the edge of war. Legions of truth are shuttered with lies, hammered to default obscurity. For no one must know or care if hope dies. But freedom is the fragrance of the morning sun, ripening firm inside. So many people, millions, standing still in the spring breeze. Truth will ride time, and the fragrance big speed. No darkness dare to feed. All right. This one was a COVID type of poem. I wrote it during those months when there was nothing happening, everything was quiet and silent, and yet something was happening under the ground, beneath our skin, basically. So this one goes, sometimes I open the window and the dusk rain touches my face. A lightness at the edges of knowing that when this frozen summer fails, children locked without knowledge of tomorrow's light will leap as the sun breaks, molten through their corridors, night fleeing rapidly from their eyes, while their mothers and fathers, hurtling with a hurricane, will struggle to stand still, struggle to let go of the darkness. But some, biding their time under the sun, watching the world turn, will make no bid to run. A certain glory etching in their eyes, a vast unspoken territory easing through their hearts, free from the labyrinthine solitudes of death, free at last to sing, to conquer the dungeon silence, and to stand, unwavering, unshaken, till this darkness catches light. I should read everything, you know, fall asleep. Also, this one is called The Fall from Beyond the Night. When shadows fall from your face, the hummingbirds sing outside. When doubt falls away from your mind, we will sleep together in deep moonlight. When darkness leaves your eyes at last, dear walk the streets in quiet trout. When hate dies, exhausted in your blood, gods walk together like comrades in a park. And when fear finally slips away from your heart, your breath is a river carrying the sun. Okay. One last one. Do not tempt me with your darkness night. The stars will all betray you. A tempest rolls in the waves of destiny. The hour is mobile. As the human and the one meet in equal disguise. The reverb of an eternal need sifts the soul between stark infinities. For the mobile hour is the dance that knows why the world is music. Serene improvisations refract to find, in time's deep calamity, a sudden beauty, fluttering up from washing lines, from traffic signs, till the irrelevance of knowledge is complete. The soul light steps the night wind as the fixed grid drops its pitch, negotiating between gunfire and power. It's free and deep sovereignty. Alright, last poem is called Fire. This was actually my first real poem.